Joe,
It's your boy, Jeff Jones.
you know me. 1, 2, 3. The upset specialist, Thomas Boykin.
Ha ha ha. Always and forever who? Mr. Mike Jones.
And this is 234 Sports Talk. Let's talk about it, fellas. Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about it.
about it.
NFL football.
Woo-wee.
Listen, fellas, the conference championship games have arrived. The AFC, the NFC conference championship games have arrived. And first of all, let's talk about the NFC. And let me get your take on what you think. We got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles playing this one at home. Fellas, what do you think about this game? What do you predict that will happen? What do you predict will happen in this game?
This is going to be like a Pittsburgh Steeler, Baltimore Ravens type game. This is going to be a hard-hitting slugfest, point blank, because both of them hang their hat on defense. However, my book, my estimation, everybody has the Eagles winning this game. The upset specialist has Frisco winning this game by a field goal. But it's going to be a really, really good game. What say you, Mike J?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I tell you what, it will be a great game. Man, I'm excited for this matchup, man. I've been anticipating this for the longest, man. I always thought those two would play in the NFC Conference Championship game, and definitely the Eagles. They looking like a well-oiled machine. Hurts, man, he looking good, man. The wide receiver, I mean, offensively, they look very well, and defensively, like you said, Thomas, man, they definitely hang their hats on good defense, man, especially that defensive line for Philly. It's hard to run the ball, man, on them cats, man. But for me, I'm not gonna take anything away from San Francisco. Man, they gave Dallas, man, some fits, man, in that ball game. Uh, man, to me, they're both even. And San Francisco, man, they can score a bunch of points too. I do look for this to be a close game where it's gonna come down to the wire. But I just think, man, I just think Philly, man, I just think it's their year, man. Jalen Hurts, man, he's gonna make it to the Super Bowl, man, and he's gonna erase a whole lot of bad uh, talk that was done about him as being a systematic quarterback or whatever, man. They make it to the Super Bowl, man. Jalen Hurts, he's gonna be one of the main reasons why. But I look for Philly to win this ball game, man.
Well, fellas, when you look at this all across the board, one thing that I'm concerned about when you talk about the San Francisco side of the game, that as far as that team. When you look at San Francisco, I'm a little skeptical when it comes to the rookie quarterback Purdy. I mean, he's shown that he can win games. Don't get me wrong, the kid is playing lights out. He's playing real good. But now this is the big dance right here. This is the big dance right here. And I just have a little question mark. Do you all believe that Purdy is capable? Let's put it that way. Do you all believe that Purdy is capable of winning the championship game, the NFC conference championship game?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe wholeheartedly that Purdy can get this done. The one thing that Purdy has in his favor is managing the game and doing what he can do and not try to force what he can't. He has no problem with making decisions with throwing the ball away or sliding instead of making a bad play and put his team in a bad situation. So I think in this situation, Purdy can get this done. And if he doesn't score points, he has ultimate faith in his defense. because the 49ers defense not giving up a lot of points, just like Philly's defense not giving up a lot of points. So that's why I'll go back to what I said earlier, that this game is going to be a Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Raven type game. It's going to be a hard-hitting affair. It's going to be a lot of tackles. It's going to be a lot of pressure. I got Purdy coming out on top of this. He is very well capable of managing this game.
Right. I tell you what, guys, yeah, Purdy, he definitely the stage isn't that big for him. He look like he's a proven winner. But I will say this though, man, he is a rookie. He was thrust into the starting lineup late in the season. Kind of like Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow had the whole summer and everything, this big draft pick coming out. And everybody was waiting for him to fail or slip up, but he never did. In this game, is this going to be the game, that Purdy shows that he is a rookie? Like you said, Jones, is this the game? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I look for this game to be close, but guess what? It may be that late drive where Purdy sits and make a rookie mistake and Philly takes this thing on to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
Well, I can work with
that. Kittle made the statement earlier. He said that they won't be able to match his physicality. He said the Eagles wouldn't be able to match his physicality. And anytime you start talking, fellas, that you can open a can, and that could be a problem. I look at, in my estimation, I think that the 49ers, it's going to be a defensive game. First of all, you look at both of these teams, defense, man, both of them. But then you look at the quarterback position. Hurts can hurt. He can hurt you with his feet. He can hurt you with his arm. But my thing is it's gonna come down to whoever can make the biggest plays. The defense is gonna be a factor in who can make the biggest plays. Somebody's gonna have to make a big play that's gonna really hurt the opposition. And I think that when you look at the 49ers defense, I think that those guys I think they're going to cause problems for Hurts. I think they're going to contain him. They'll probably spy him. They'll probably stop him. He might get out and put them legs to work for a little bit, but I think that they're going to really keep him, in check. And I think that their secondary will be able to hold down the Eagles. So I think that, to me, I think that the 49ers will win this one in a close game.
Say that again.
Mike Jones, I think the 49ers will win this one in a close game.
Look here, Jones. I'm going to say this, man. The 49ers barely got past the Cowboys, and I don't think the Cowboys are nowhere near what Philly has on offense. AJ, man, the wide receivers, even the back, Sanders, man, they got a three-headed monster back there in the backfield. Actually, a four-headed monster if you include Jalen Hurts. I don't know, man. I know I was saying it'll be a close game, but then the more I'm starting to talk about this, I don't know, man. Billy Mike said put a double-digit win on. And then on Philly defensive side of the ball, hey, like you said, they got a great defense. And I'm going to tell you, those are DBs for Philly, Slay, and all them cats back there. They attack the ball vertical. That ball coming their way, they taking it. They looking to take it to the house, man. I don't know. They might give Purdy them some problem. Kittles, he talking all that stuff, man. I tell you what, he better come with his lunch prepared.
I'll put it to you this way, MJ. The problem is this. You can say, well, San Francisco didn't really look real good against Dallas, which also was a defensive team, and the score reflected a defensive game. Philly has not been tested This is what it's going to come down to. Philly has not been tested. Everything with them has been a breeze. This game right here is going to test Jalen Hurts' ability. I guarantee it. Jalen Hurts got away with playing an okay Giants defense. It wasn't great. It ain't sorry, but it ain't great. He get ready to face a great defense. So, just like you said, with Purdy can make mistakes, can't get it twisted. Hurts is still learning in the learning curve too. So it's just gonna be who's gonna not flinch first.
Well, I tell you what, if Philly can control, look, they might just let Purdy just do his little thing, you know. But if they can control the back coming out the backfield from for San Francisco,
Or McCaffrey.
yeah,
Or
McCaffrey,
Debo Samuels.
Oh, they got a three-headed monster back
Yes,
there
sir.
too.
Debo Samuels. You
They
got
got a three-headed
McCaffrey.
monster back there too. Trust.
And let's
Yeah.
not forget, man, you got Warner, you know, and you got Bosa, man. Them guys are gonna come. They coming for Hurts.
Yeah,
And
they coming.
You're gonna ask a Philly linebacker to try to hold McCaffrey on a wheel route. Not happening. Not happening.
They gonna run some exotic, man. They gonna confuse the rookie.
That's why I said this is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a chess match. This is gonna be a for real chess match. But I got Frisco by a field goal.
Ooh, look at y'all, man. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, man.
The upset specialist is batting pretty good so far. I'm trying to tell you.
So, Mike, you think that the Eagles are gonna walk away with this one? You think it's gonna?
I tell you what, man. I think Purdy gonna make some rookie mistakes, man. I think he gonna do some uncharacteristic type stuff, whether it be early in the game or whether it's gonna be late. And I think Philly, I think it's gonna be. I'm tell you what's gonna happen. I'm just hypothetically speaking. I think Philly probably is gonna be up by like 3 points late in the ball game. San Francisco gonna be driving. Purdy gonna think he sees something that's wide open, and it's gonna go to the house. Pick six, baby, by 10. Philly by 10.
Philly by a team.
Oh, he's at a double-digit win. Watch out.
Philly by 10. Late. It's gonna be a late score to put it that way, but Philly by 10.
Heard that.
All right, fellas. Well, we'll see what happens, and I definitely know that this is going to be a good game. It's going to be a great defensive game. And
Absolutely.
on the flip side,
The A to
the
the
AFC.
Yes, sir.
Been a lot of talk going on this side between the Bengals and the Chiefs. We know that this is going to be at Arrowhead Stadium.
Again.
Some of the Bengals are calling it Burrowhead Stadium.
They got good reason.
They say that Joe owns the Chiefs. That's what they saying. Joe owns the Chiefs.
That's facts
And
too.
the record speaks for itself.
Numbers don't lie.
But fellas, what do you think about this game? How do you think this game is going to play out?
I'm going to tell you what. Until Patrick Mahomes shows me that he can beat the Bengals, I'm taking the Bengals in this game.
Let's not forget the injury too.
I am not, regardless of the injury, because Mahomes is a gamer. We all know Mahomes is a gamer. The Bengals, somehow or another, always manage to get Patrick Mahomes in a situation he can't win. They did it to him last year in Arrowhead. Came to Arrowhead, beat Kansas City in Arrowhead. If you look at all time, the all-time record Mahomes has since Burrow has been quarterback with the Bengals, Mahomes has yet to beat Cincinnati, regular season or postseason. I think Cincinnati has solved that riddle. So I think Cincinnati wins this by about 10. What you got on MJ?
Yeah, I tell you what, man, I think Cincinnati is the new New England Patriots of old. I think Joe Burrow is the new Tom Brady. Uh, that team doesn't do anything flashy. They just play football. The moment is never too big for them. They're never stressed out. They don't never seem pressure. You know what I'm saying? Seem like they kind of been working on their pass rush deep. I mean, the offensive line has. You got 3 starters, that played last week that were new in the lineup, and they did very well. Kansas City, to me, they're not the same old Kansas City with Tyreek
They're not.
and a couple more other players. They've lost some pieces. And there's some new different people. They're a different team. To me, they play a little different. I agree with you, Thomas. I think Cincinnati has got Kansas number. And most people are scared to go into Arrowhead because it's loud. You know what I'm saying? It's a home field advantage for Kansas, but that's not even gonna phase Cincinnati, man. I think they are poised to sit and win this game, and they might get it done. What you said? 10 points, Thomas? They might get it done with 17 points, man. I, I just don't see Kansas beating them, man.
I agree. I agree with you both. I think that the Bengals will win this game. I think they're gonna win this game. And I think that they own Kansas City, and until Kansas City shows us differently, they own them. Like Aaron Rodgers owned the Chicago Bears. Now, when you look all across the board, I mean, just look at the way that and I was really impressed at the way that the Bengals just dismantled the Bills. They dismantled them. They took them guys apart.
Took them to school.
Old school football. As you all said, they old school football. They established the run and they just went to work, man. And when you look at, they got the run game with Mixon, and then what's the tight end? Hurst? Is it Hurst? Yeah, Hurst.
Yeah.
Hayden Hurst. They got the tight end position. They got the receiver. When you look at, all Chase. When you look at they're just built to win a Super Bowl. And I think that this is going to be the year for the Cincinnati Bengals to win the Super Bowl. When you look at this team, when you look at it,
they're built for it. That's for sure. They are definitely built to win a Super Bowl. That's for sure. And even Burrow even came out and said, we're much better. We're a much better squad than we were last year. That's scary. That's scary. And they were pretty good last year. They were pretty good last year, other than quarterback schematics protecting the quarterback on pass plays. But this year it doesn't seem to look like it's a problem. They had a couple of chinks early, but here lately, the Bills wasn't even getting no pressure on them. Come on, man, they're ready.
And that was a makeshift O-line.
Yep.
That's the scary part.
3 starters down, and they didn't miss a beat.
That's the scary part.
Come on, man. That's
scary. Man, like I said, the moment is never too big. That was the perfect scenario for Buffalo last week. You had the snow, you had your boy back, from the injury.
Hamlin up in the stands cheering for you.
Yeah, Buffalo, it's cold as all get out. That
it was set for you to win.
You're supposed to be intimidated, but you weren't. You know what I mean? The moment is never too big for him, man. That is what is so amazing. And those are some young guys, man. Yep. Look, can you imagine? I mean, and they're only gonna get better, man. Joe Burrows, he gonna get his money. after this season, and man, they just gonna keep doing it. Hey, like I said, they probably gonna be they are the New England Patriots up and coming. They are now. They're current.
But what's scary is you don't know if they're going to get another guy to go opposite Jamar Chase. You get another guy to go get opposite of Jamar Chase, that's a problem.
Ooh,
That's a problem. I mean, that's just keeping it real. I'm no Bengals fan for sure, but I give credit where credit is due. The guys are playing football. They're playing great football.
And look at this, man. You know, and we talk about Joe, and rightfully so in that offense, but that defense,
that part.
I can't name none of their defensive players, but guess what? They get it done.
They held a prolific scoring team to 10 points.
Right.
In their element. At home, in their element. The snow, the cold, and the fans, and number 3 in the stand. They held them in that element to 10 points. You can't speak enough about their defense. Their defense is outstanding. What I will say this too, Kansas City's defense is suspect.
Definitely.
Their defense is suspect. And if you got a suspect defense trying to play this quarterback that they got now, it's gonna be a long game. Now I see what you're saying, MJ. It might be a 17-point game. It might be a 17-point game.
Kansas City's in trouble.
Yeah, they got their hands full, bro.
Houston,
they got their hands full.
We have a problem. And his
KC,
name is Mr. Joe Burrow.
KC, we have a problem. You got a Cincinnati Bengal problem.
Hey, and you know, I know they've been showing reports and stuff that, you know, Mahomes is jumping around and stuff like that. You know, I don't know, man. We don't know until he's a gamer, you know, he's going to play. But, you know, all it takes sometimes, man, is somebody fall on that ankle or foot or whatever it is, and agitate it. You know what I'm saying?
One wrong hit.
Yeah. And agitate it. You know what I'm saying?
What they said, what's the Mike Tyson statement? Everybody got a plan until they get hit in the face.
Yeah, that ain't gonna get hit one good time, man. Somebody land on that thing. That's all it takes, man. And you're not gonna hobble and beat the Cincinnati Bengals. That's not gonna happen.
Nope, not happening. Nope,
not gonna happen.
Nah.
Well, fellas, we look to have a good weekend of football, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Sure. Let's turn our attention to a couple other things concerning the NFL. We know that Dak Prescott lost the big game against the 49ers, lost against a rookie quarterback. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk whether the Cowboys should stick with Dak Prescott, whether they should try to, you know, maybe get rid of him. Even Ezekiel Elliott's name has come up. They're thinking that maybe he might be done in Big D. Fella, what's your take on this?
Dak Prescott, good quarterback, not $95 million worth of good quarterback. He's another guy that I call, like we talked about earlier, he's another guy that I call another Kirk Cousins. He'll get you through a regular season beautifully. 10 wins, 11 wins. This year, particularly 12 wins. Get you through a season. They went through the process of, okay, Dak is back. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm like, dude, listen. They played a 8-9 team with a terrible defense. If you don't win that game, you got problems. You're supposed to look good against an 8-9 team. The following week, the real Dak Prescott shows up. Was anybody shocked? I wasn't shocked.
No, sir.
He played a real defense. He played a real defense. When he plays a real defense, this is what happens. Constant errors, constant mistakes. But you get in front of a press conference and say, well, yeah, I saw that. But you knew that if you were a great quarterback, the interceptions that you threw should have never been thrown. The balls that you threw were never should have been thrown. Both the interceptions, if you look at both the interceptions he threw, as it was pointed out on a couple of talk shows, all the balls that he threw were to guys that were late. So come on. I think they should have. I think they, to me, I'd have never took the ball out of the hot hands. I'd have kept Cooper Rush in the game and let him work. That's just me. Because the numbers were there. They were winning the same amount of games with or without that. So, come on, man. The handwriting's on the wall. For me, the handwriting was always on the wall. He's good, but he's not great. What you got on MJ?
I'm not done with Dak. Simply because, for one thing, with the money, the money is there. So, but if I'm Jerry Jones, man, I don't know. I look at the offensive coordinator and I look at the head coach. I don't know. I might look at the offensive coordinator first, man. I'm just not liking the plays that are being drawn up for them guys. And you know, and there is nothing really to me in the draft. Granted, I like Bryce Young and your guy out of Ohio State, Stroud, but
TJ Stroud, yep.
yeah, but they're not gonna get those. They're not even gonna have no chance to get guys like that, not in this draft. But
Nah.
you gotta play with the cards that you got, man. But I think you can move that offensive coordinator or the head coach. I don't know, man. Some of the same issues they had last year. It's kind of the same issues they had this year. And granted, all three of those guys were there last year: the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and Dak Prescott. So I don't know. I think I moved the offensive coordinator and then see what Dak do next year. And then I was hoping the Cowboys could have got Peyton, the head coach for Dallas, but I think he's gonna be back in the booth next year. But as far as Zeke, I think Zeke is done. Zeke, man, he trying to hold on to the Cowboys. He up there talking about he'll take a pay cut. Man, I don't think they want your services anymore. I think I just think you're done, bro. I mean, you're a backup, and if he's willing to play, be a third string back, man. But yeah, I'm not done with that, and I give Dak at least another year or so. Just me.
Well, I tell you what, fellas, I say I'm gonna just call it like it is. Mike McCarthy's gonna be on the hot seat next season. If the Dallas Cowboys, I think it's Super Bowl or bust, and they ain't going to the Super Bowl. I can tell you that right now, because it's too many. Listen, it's too many good teams out there in the NFC, and they won't get past unless the 49ers. They will, just to name a couple of them, they will not get past the 49ers. They will not get past the Eagles. Just to name two of them. Probably won't get back past Green Bay if Green Bay can get themselves together. So that's not going to happen. So I think next season, the Dallas Cowboys will do the same thing. And then Mike McCarthy will probably be the scapegoat. So I'm going to tell you like this. Dak, nothing against Dak. Dak is a good quarterback, but Dak is not an elite quarterback. Dak is not going to win you a championship. It's not going to happen.
No.
He makes too many mistakes in big games. And anytime you get in a big game, your mental has to be there, and his just isn't there in the big game.
Nope.
Now, on the flip side, my guy, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. What do you fellas think about him? You think Green Bay should hold on to him? Because right now, the ball is truly in Green Bay's court. Or should they try to trade him? He can retire. It's up to him. He says his desire is to stay in Green Bay. but nobody knows right now what's going to happen with him. What's your take on? Do you guys still think that Mr. Rodgers has it? Has his skills diminished, or can he still play as an elite quarterback in the NFL?
I think he can still play well. I still think he can play well. I'll say this. He might wind up wearing a different shade of green next year. He might be a Jet next year. You never know. You never can tell. I know he's talked about wanting to stay in Green Bay, but to me, and this is me personally talking, why would I stay in a system that you constantly build and then you take my targets away from me that I built up confidence in, then you constantly keep moving stuff around and constantly keep taking my receivers and constantly taking my running backs? Why would I stay in that situation? Because it's a recipe for disaster. For aging quarterback, that's a recipe for disaster. The trust factor's already been built up, and now you're breaking the trust, and now you got to relearn trust with new receivers. So I think probably more or less he's probably going to be done in Green Bay. I think so. What you say on it, MJ?
Yeah, like you said, Thomas, I believe he can play. I think he can still play very well. You know, whatever was going on with Green Bay in that offense, man, I don't think it was all on Aaron Rodgers. If I'm him, you know what I'm saying. I like you said, I test the waters, man. You know, I would look at what's going on at Miami. You know what I'm saying? Because Tua may be a question mark there. Man, I wouldn't
Absolutely.
mind going to Florida, man, Miami, and playing in that nice weather. You know, and
And
you
they
mentioned,
they got great weapons down there in Miami.
right, exactly. But and then if he goes to the Jets, I heard one of his old former offensive coordinator has taken up a residence there. So that could be something for him, but I don't know, man. With the Jets pieces, if it's enough for him, man, because Aaron Rodgers, he gonna get on you. You know what I'm saying? If you're a young receiver, you ain't running them routes or whatnot, man. He gonna let you know. I don't know if that would be too much stress for him with the Jets, but I would definitely look around. And if I didn't see anything that I like, man, I don't know. If I'm him, I might would just shut it down. I wouldn't go back to Green Bay.
All right, fellas. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Dak Prescott, and we'll see what happens with Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Well, fellas, we talked about it. Until the next time, we'll talk about it again. You can catch us on Instagram. You can catch us on TikTok. You can catch us on Twitter. And like and subscribe. It don't cost you nothing to hit that button.
Facts.
Till the next time, it's been 234 Sports Talk. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.